Hi guys, and happy Sunday. Today is Sunday, May 1st, and we're just a few days away from the launching of the new catalog, and we're officially into May. So, very exciting. It is very early here in Chicagoland. It's like what? Let me see. 4:45, but I've been up since 3:30 because my dog had to go out. We had some rainstorms go through here last night, so he didn't go out at 10 o'clock as he usually does because it was really stormy out. So he went out, he woke me up at 3:30 to go out. And now I have an owl in our back tree that is just hooting up a storm. So I figured might as well get up, do something. All right, so we're going to continue. Let me grab my little scrap pile from over here. We're going to continue to use up the scraps. Now this is what I have left of my recently, well, it's not recently retired. It's not retired yet, but it's going to be retired in a few days. So here's my 4x12 in colors that are retiring. Here's the newly retired scrap paper. So we're going to go ahead and do a card based on using up your scraps. So what we're going to do is let's take out my longer strips that are retiring, and let's just pick out a few that we think will look kind of good together. Let's see. I don't think I want to do too much gingham, so let's look at these so far. The back sides are a little bit different, kind of like that whole color combo. Should we throw a green in there? I want it to be all different types of patterns. So maybe I'll do this and bring in, yeah, let's do it like that. All right, we'll do that. What we're going to do is we're going to cut a bunch of 1 1/4 squares. Now I have, how many sheets here? 1, 2, 3, 4. I might be able to get by with it. I might be able to. Now if you notice here, see how those aren't level? You want to make sure your edge is level at the top and the side. So I'm just going like that, and then we're going to make sure that we push it all the way up, and that's not going to work. Let me do this, because you want me to be pretty well lined up. So we're going to go at 1 1/4. All right, and then we're going to move it over. We're going to do 1 1/4 again, because we want to get a few of these. And I'm going to do it one more time, just because I have a good edge going on there. All right, now we're going to come over here, and again, we're going to do 1 1/4 that way. So I saw this on a video from Robin A. I think her name is Ambrecht. I don't know. It's a very well-known name in the Stampin' Up! World. And maybe in the YouTube world, I don't know. But I have heard her name before when I used to go to in-life conventions. And she was doing this series, and I think she called it Hip to Be Square. I think that's what it was called. So for those of you that are older like myself, you know that's a Huey Lewis song, Hip to Be Square. I don't know if it was Huey Lewis on his own or when he was Huey Lewis with the news, but Hip to Be Square was his song. So I'm just doing a bunch of these 1 1/4 squares. And she showed, excuse me, that was some early morning voice there. She was showing, oh my gosh, I think she showed like 6 or 7 different style cards. It was very, very cool the way she was using up her squares. Now, I want to say, and I would have to look, yeah, it's not a big deal to cut these all out, but I want to say that we had, and I want to say it was called the Plaid Maker dies. And I think this was a couple years ago that they retired. I think that when you use that die, one of them, it was a 2-piece die set, that you got these squares about the same size. Not positive. All right, anyway, so here we have a bunch of squares. We'll say this is enough for now. Let me put these over. We'll put these back in my little scrap pile. We're getting that scrap pile down even more. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to come over here and grab some basic black cardstock, as well as, oh my goodness, did you hear me? I hit my plastic. This is what I have left for, oh wait, I do have some cinnamon cider somewhere. This is what I have left for the in colors that are retiring in a few days. So let's go ahead and use Just Jade. All right, throw that out on my chair. All right, so, and I'm going to make 2 cards at a time for this one. So go ahead and I always cut it first and score later. Let's just go ahead. So many people say, save yourself time. Score once, cut twice. Or score once, cut once. Oh, let me get those scraps off. They really bother me. So my way, you cut it and then you have to score it twice. But if you score it at the 4 1/4 first, and then cut at the 5 1/2, you only have to score once, cut once. Now, for me, I don't always think of that. You know, not the best at being prepared ahead of time. So let's go ahead, make sure that's all butted up in the corner, just to make sure we get that little bit. All right, I'm gonna put this over here for now because I don't think I need it again. Make sure I'm on my folds that way. Oh, I do need it again, duh. I'm gonna do a very, very thin layer. So we're gonna do this at, so here's your 5 1/2, right? That's your size, your cardstock. We're gonna go an 1/8 less. We're gonna have a very, very thin border on this. So an 1/8 less than 5 1/2. And we're gonna go an 1/8 less than your 4 1/4. I don't know why it is. It's not, it's something about the basic black cardstock, but it always seems like I don't get a really crisp edge. I don't know if because it's just such a dense color and dense cardstock that it leaves the little bit of ruffles. Let me move my water bottle over there. All right, and I am going to put this down right away. Using my Stampin' Seal. Gosh, it's so sticky. See, there's my fold, was almost wrong again. So I'm going to hover it until I can see that I have the edge I want. All right, there we go. There's that one. And there's, oh, see, look at that. I don't know what it is. I mean, our basic black cardstock. And it's a solid core, which means some papers, when you buy it, you'll see that there's like a white core to it. Ours is color all the way through. So it's a solid core. All right, let's go ahead and do that. Now let's bring over these. And I kind of just like, you know, you're gonna have the second side, whatever. Kind of like to just go like this. So you're going to first figure out how big of a base you want, or I'm sorry, not a base. I'll call it a grout line, but it's not a grout line. How much, oops, hope my hair didn't get in there. How much you want in there. So I think that looks good that way. I wonder if I was a little bit, oh look, I was a little bit off on one side of my cuts. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and bring that blue down. Alright, so I need to bring that up a little bit, that up a little bit, and that up a little bit. Alright, so here, let's hopefully, this is probably where you'd want to use your multi-purpose glue. I don't know. I get it all over my fingers. I just want to try to stick with the Stampin' Seal. But if it gets to be a little bit too much, I will go ahead and bring out the multi-purpose glue. All right. Let's go ahead. All right, and as you can see, I got a little bit off there, but you know me. And you probably could peel it off a little bit because it has been pushed down too long. But I'm just going to leave it there. All right, so now before you do this, do you want to do the rest like this? Or she also showed where it was really cool. So let's see, I used, that was just jade, right? Oh, I must have put the the scraps in my folder. I'm not going to go dig for it. So since your squares are 1 1/4, if you're going to do 2 squares, it's going to be 1 1/4, and 1 1/4 is 2 2/4, which is 2 1/2. Now realize you do have a little bit of a grout line, for lack of a better word. So I think what I'm going to do is, so 2 1/2, I'm going to go, no, I'll go right at 2 1/2. That's fine. So I'm going to go 2 1/2 square. See how that's going to go in there? So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to take a piece of Whisper White, not Whisper White, Basic White. Oh my gosh, it's not even Retro Thursday. I can't believe I said that again. I just, for those of you who've been with Stampin' Up! As many years as I have, 22 going on 23 years, it's just hard not to say Whisper White. But it's Basic White, Basic White, Basic White. All right, so then let's see. So this is 2 1/2. I'm not even sure if that's on the camera. Oh, it is. Very good. But it's not down enough. All right, so since that's 2 1/2, I'm going to go an 1/8 less than 2 1/2. So there's an 1/8 less than 2 1/2. And let me see. Put that over here. So that's going to be like that. Let's figure out what I want to say there. I have a bunch of, I don't think that hello is very big. No. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I want kind of a bigger saying there, but not so big that it overtakes the card. I'm trying to think what I have. Let's do this. Now, this was one of the items you could have bought early, but it is in the new catalog. It was our customer premiere, was customer, I don't know, all these words, I tend to lose them. It was the early buy. The customers could do, we could do them really, really early, but the customers could buy it, I believe, in March. It's in the new catalog, but I don't believe the Awesome Designer Series paper is. No, the Designer Paper Series is in there. Oh, it's the Awesome Jewels that aren't in there. So let's see. I'm going to I'm just going to do it like this. I'm just going to do it in Memento. It should be a bigger one, but we'll just leave it at this. We'll see how it looks. If we think we need a little color on it, I think it'll be okay, considering there's so much color going on. If you always wanted to like sponge it or something like that, you could. That would work. But let me go ahead. Oh, it's a little off center. My stamping. I don't care. Here we go. And so then we have room down here. I'm thinking I'm going to do, since we don't have the blue and the green, well, we do have the green, the blue and the orange-ish. Oh, and that's on its side. Look at that. Let me see if I can. That was very funny, Roxy. I don't know if I did that because I was off that little inch. I don't know. All right, so let's go ahead. And I'm not going to be matchy-matchy. I don't want the orange down in that corner, so I'm going to put the blue down in that corner. And the orange there. Look at that. I was off like a millimeter. Anyway, and then if you want to, if you don't like how there's so much white, you could go ahead and cut these in half and put a little tile here and here if you wanted to. I'm not going to at this point. Let's go ahead and let's do, I'm just going to go ahead, and this one's going to be on the fly. All right, so let's go like this. 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 And we're going to do it on the bottom too. Or bottom also. I should say bottom too. Bottom also. And let's see. We haven't done a green yet. I'm missing a couple, aren't I? I'm missing some squares. All right, doesn't matter. Oh, maybe it's underneath. No. All right, it doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and do it like that. And here you could decide if you wanted to add more squares, or if you want to leave this. Now, again, this is going to be 2.5, and this is going to be your overall. So let's bring out, I knew I had it. All right, so it's going to be 2 1/4 by 4. See how it's going to leave just a little bit of a, so 2.5 by 4. If we think it's too, doesn't leave enough of a grout line, whatever you want to call it. See, that one is off a little. Oh well. Then we can go ahead. So then go ahead, go like that. We'll put that down. There you go. And Whisper White, again, is eluding me. Here we go. We have one over here. Let's see how this one is. I don't even know if it's the right size. Oh, it actually works out okay. So then, if this is 4 1/4 and this is 4 1/8, so this is probably the 4. We're just going to go a little bit lower than the 4. I'm going to go an 1/8 less than the 4. And again, we'll just find a phrase for that. I'll stamp it and I'll be in the picture when you are watching this video, so you'll see it there. So there you are. Another way to use up some scraps to get some totally awesome cards. Thanks a lot, guys. Hope you have a great Sunday. Hope your weekend was good, and be safe in the upcoming week. Don't forget, new catalog starts on Tuesday. Thanks a lot. Bye.